Hello, welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn some important pronunciation, so let's get started. Today we're looking at these three words, debt, dead, and death. They're all pronounced very similarly, but they are a little different, so let's take a closer look. So I'll say all three words together, debt, dead, death. The first word is debt. The B is silent, and when we pronounce the T, it's after a vowel phonetically. So we make a stop T. Debt. Debt. We don't say debt. Usually we don't release the T at the end. You hear debt. And I can use debt a few ways. You can say, I don't have any debt, or maybe I have some debt. You can also say, I'm in debt, or I'm not in debt. If I'm in debt, I want to get out of debt. So to get out of debt, I need to practice good debt management. So the first example, I don't have any debt. Or maybe I have some debt. What about you? Do you have any debt? Very good. So if you have some debt, then you say, I am in debt. You are in debt. I'm not in debt. Or maybe I am. I'm in debt. I need to pay back some loans, so I'm in debt. I owe money. I owe money to the bank. I owe money on my credit cards. I am in debt. What about you? Are you in debt? Very good. So if someone is in debt, they need to practice good debt management. Let's practice. If he's in debt, does he need to practice good debt management? That's right. He needs to practice good debt management. He needs to get out of debt. Let's practice. Does he need to get out of debt? That's right. He needs to get out of debt. He needs to pay back his loans. Now let's look at dead. Dead, again, the D is at the end, but it's a stop D. So you don't hear dead, D. You don't release the D. You can, but normally we don't. So you hear dead. Compare that with the other word, debt. They're very similar. One's a stop T and one's a stop D. But other than that difference, they're pronounced almost the same. Again, the first word is debt, and the second word is dead. It's a stop D at the end of dead. The opposite of alive. I can use dead as an adjective. For example, the animal is dead. Or I can use dead as an adverb. He's serious. Or I can say he's dead serious. Let's practice. Is the animal alive or dead? That's right, the animal is dead. Is he serious? Is he dead serious? That's right, he's dead serious. Now let's talk about death. With death, we have a TH at the end, making the sound with no voice, just air. Like when you say both or with. So at the end, together, death. Death. Death is a noun. Example, his death was very sad. Because he died young, his death was very sad. Let's practice. Was his death very sad? That's right, his death was very sad. Or I can say, he froze to death. Pronunciation of to, pronounce to death, to death. He froze to death. Let's practice. What happened? How did he die? Did he freeze to death? That's right, he froze to death. So remember these three words, debt, dead, and death. The last sound is a little different on each word. Keep watching to practice more with these words and other words with similar pronunciation. Hello, welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn some important vocabulary, so let's get started. We're going to learn the difference between die, died, dead, and death. Let's take a closer look. First, let's look at the action. The verb is die. Example, my laptop will die if I don't keep it on the charger. It has a bad battery. So my laptop will die if I don't keep it on the charger. Let's practice. Will the laptop die if it's not on the charger? That's right, the laptop will die if it's not on the charger. So die is the verb in present and the verb in past is died. So example, I called you yesterday but you didn't answer. What happened? Did your cell phone die? And the answer is yes. My cell phone died. past action, died. When I ask the question, did your cell phone die, I use did plus the present action. Did your cell phone die? And the answer is yes, my cell phone died. Let's practice. What happened? Did his cell phone die? That's right, his cell phone died. Now let's talk about dead. Dead is the adjective or the description. You need to use the verb to be. Am, is, are in the present, was and were in the past. I describe the cell phone with the adjective dead. The cell phone is dead right now. In the past, yesterday, the cell phone was dead. Pronunciation, dead. Use the short E sound, the sound like head and bed, dead. Let's practice. What's wrong? Is the cell phone dead? That's right, the cell phone is dead. And in the past, was. Yesterday, his cell phone was dead. I tried to call him, but he didn't answer because his cell phone was dead. Let's practice. What happened? Was his cell phone dead yesterday? That's right, his cell phone was dead. Now let's talk about death. With death, we have the same vowel, the short E, the sound like head and bed, but the last sound is a TH. This is a voiceless TH. It's just air. So we start with a D with the tongue back behind the teeth. Death. And we finish with a soft TH sound like think and thank you. We finish with the sound. So start with the tongue behind your teeth. Death. Death. Death is a noun. It can be used as the event. Example, the death of the Queen. The death of the Queen was very sad. Let's practice. Was the death of the Queen very sad? That's right, the death of the Queen was very sad. And sometimes we use death after the preposition to. Example, freeze in the past, froze, he froze to death. It was very cold and he died from the cold, so we say he froze to death. The pronunciation of to is froze to death. We see with the question, the helper is did, so the action's in the present with the question. Did he freeze to death? And the answer, you used a past action, froze. Yes, he froze to death. Let's practice. What happened? Did he freeze to death? That's right, he froze to death. So remember the differences between these four words, die, died, dead, and death. They're all a little different. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.